Thanks for joining me on this wonderfully muddy, rainy, ruiny and rainbowy walk through Waverley Abbey and the surrounding area. This is a 10-kilometre loop, which was a pleasure to walk with only a couple sections along slightly busy roads that didn't have any footpaths along the sides. But, by far, the two most attractive sections of the walk, to me, were Waverley Abbey and Crooksbury Hill. The Abbey was a welcome resting spot for me, mostly because it provided me some much-needed cover from the rain. It was built around 1128 and it remained active until 1536. Despite being nearly 900 years old, the Abbey does still include some lovely details. Those of you who are familiar with British history have probably guessed, based on the date I mentioned before, 1536, what happened to the Abbey and why it's in its ruined state. For those of you who don't spend quite as much time looking at the history of the UK, this was the time of Henry VIII and his dissolution of the monasteries, which disbanded a number of monasteries, priories, convents and friaries in England, Wales and Ireland. He sold off the land and buildings belonging to those institutions to fund his military campaigns, and was also quite keen on his new position as supreme head of the church, as it allowed him to divorce his current wife. Prior to this, he had requested and been denied the blessing of the church and the Pope to do this. But alas, I'm not a historian, so don't take my word for all of this, and go look it up. It's quite fascinating, really. After Waverley was sold off, it was mostly demolished and the stones were used to build other local buildings, including Waverley Abbey House, which stands just across an artificial lake from the ruins today. The ruins are open to the public and have been used in a number of films, including Elizabeth, Disney's Into the Woods, and that cinematic gem, the reboot of The Mummy. As always, the hikes are linked in the description on all trails and Komoot, and my Instagram and Twitter handles are on screen if you'd like a more live update of what I'm up to right now. For now though, check out some of my other hikes, and keep exploring.